Hey guys, welcome back. Dan here. Got a couple more things for the car that we'll go ahead and go through real quick. So this is a hydraulic clutch pedal. I kind of decided to do this last minute. I was just going to go with a cable clutch, but then just kind of seeing how the Godzilla is going to fit in some pictures of people that have done it, I decided to go with this. This is a Malwood USA clutch, and it's got a small reservoir that goes with it. Super small, so I'll get this mounted up, and then this bolts right to the pedal assembly. Really nice piece too. I got it off LMR. So we will have hydraulic clutch, the Hydro Boost, and then this is a pedal, gas pedal for, I think it's like 11 to 26 Mustangs. So I got this along with, this is the Scram Speed bracket to bolt it to the where the previous pedal was. So we'll have drive-by-wire throttle, hydraulic clutch, and then the Hydro Boost. So really no physical drive aspect of this car will be the same as it was in 1986, which I think is kind of cool. But relatively easy parts to get put on. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw those on. I'll kind of show you the finished product. And then outside of that, I've got stuff like a power steering cooler and stuff like that to put on. So, all right, so I've got the hydraulic clutch in. Not the hardest thing in the world to do, but very limited space. Pedal feels pretty good. And then I got the electronic throttle pedal in. So this carpet's kind of bunched up. I might have to do some. Anyway, this I did kind of trim this ear just a littlest bit. I may pull it out and kind of trim it a little tighter, but I mean, I don't think it'll touch. I'll have to test fit the steering shaft, but this cable, the drive-by-wire cable, I'll eventually run it back up under there to the electrical connector at the top. But pretty cool. Got, like I said, electronic throttle, the Hydro Boost now for the brake pedal, and then hydraulic clutch. So, all right, so I'm doing a little bit of wiring, or at least just kind of mocking it up to see where I want to, how and where I want to wire stuff up. But this is kind of the plan I formulated. I'm not positive if I'm going to leave the battery here, but I think I probably will. So I've got basically the main fuse here. It'll run to that solenoid. The alternator, when I get that obviously when I get it in, it'll get wired up and come to this side. So battery power to here, and then everything else will kind of run off of it. I've got this other wire will run around the front of the car, kind of how this, the headlight harness kind of runs. It'll follow it along, and then on this side, what I'm planning on doing is I've got this bus bar, and I don't know if it's going to be there. I just put it there for now. But essentially what I'm going to do is I've got a couple of the harnesses run with some grommets, and I'm thinking about putting a relay and or fuse panel there, and then running some of the accessories off that, like the fans and stuff. So essentially how this is going to work is I'm going to take this 12 volt, the old ignition wire, which no longer runs the ignition. So this will have 12 volts when the engine it's in the run position or even in cranking. I'm going to follow this wire and kind of make a little harness to come all the way around, and it'll connect to this relay. This relay, that's going to essentially be the trigger wire to trigger this relay, which I can jump 12 volts from that and then power a small, like a 6-block. And really what I'll just need that for is some of my 12 volt Keon sources. I'll have to power the two trigger wires for the fan relays, and then also which is hanging out down here because it fell, my 12 volt Keon power for the Holley. And then for the 12 volt source for the fuel pump, the old wire that runs through is a 12 gauge. I want to run a 10 gauge, so I'm just going to set up another relay right next to it, and then I'll just run that green wire to that relay, and then the power wire for that will be a 10 gauge that runs the length of the car back to the fuel pump, which the wiring's all there. I'll just have to hook it up. But the 12 gauge, it's been working, but in reality, that pump, which is a 525, should have, it could draw up to 25 amps. And I know 10 gauge is rated for 30. I think 12 is like pushing it. So I'll just run a new 10 gauge. It's not a huge deal. But this is kind of what it's looking like now. I know maybe some people kind of can conceptualize that. I think once it's done and you see kind of how I have it all, and once it's all buttoned up, it'll kind of make sense. And then also too, the outputs. These are the ground output trigger. This is for the fans, these two. And so, like I said, my input outputs are here, and I think it's the red and gray and the yellow and gray. That'll be for the fans. I think in reality I could use whichever, but in the Holley instructions it says to use these two. So I'll set up a Deutsch connector, and run these nicely, and probably get some slack over here and connect them, down over here out of the way. But that's where these two will connect, because the only other ones I'll need to connect is one input for the AC, the IAC kick, and then I believe there might be one other for the air conditioning as well for an output. But that should be essentially what the wiring looks like as far as what I'm wiring in. The rest of it should all just be plug and play. So this is essentially the way I'm doing it. I've got the inputs all wired into a 4-way connector. This is the male one, and then the outputs are all females. And then I got for now, just these two, the fan ground outputs wired into it. I've got just some block offs, so when I go to do the AC shutdown, I'll be able to wire that in here. And then really the only input I should have is the AC in, the AC input, but I just figured I'd just make a full connector and just put them all here for now. But the reason why I did one male and one female is so I don't mix them up and accidentally hook them up wrong. But this is essentially what I'm looking at. And then as I kind of, as I'm kind of going through it, I'll tighten them all up and make them look good. I got some of this loom left over. I need to get some more of it, but I'm trying to make it look as neat as possible. All right, so moving further along, I've got most of it wired up. I just need to get some loom. I ran out of loom, so I'm gonna loom up this power wire for the fuel pump. But yeah, I've got it. All of this ran minus the power wire that'll come across to actually power this. But yeah, this is the fan relays, the trigger wire for the Terminator X, and then I got a fuel pump relay and a relay that will power this fuse box, which I'm using the old ignition wire to trigger the relay to then power this, so I can get some additional key-on powers. I know a lot of people, they'll tap into, like this wire was tapped into for, some power wires and stuff, but I'd much rather just take that, and then I can, I've got some thicker loom that I'll probably start relooming all this wire that comes across to, make it a little bit neater. But semi bit of a, not too much of a rat's nest, but it looks neat enough. It's at least neat enough and color coordinated, so I know what's going where. And yeah. Well, here's the Godzilla. Finally showed up. I already started kind of just disconnecting some of the electrical connectors. I got the harmonic balancer bolt loosened already, which was a pain. Going to be replacing the intake with a Holley EFI intake, as you guys have maybe, if you saw one of the last videos. And then I have to get the 20 to 2022 coils, because for the Holley Terminator X Max, it only runs off the 2-coil, or the 2-wire coils. These are 3-wire. So I'll probably just find a set on like Rock Auto, like some stock coils, and replace these. I'm also going to get a new set of injectors, because when I put the cam in, it'll be the injectors will basically run out of you know, the ability to support the engine, the horsepower. So I do have a 525 fuel pump in the car, which is more than enough fuel pump. So we'll do Holley fuel rails, some new injectors, I haven't decided which ones. And then coils, I have the camshaft from Brian Tooley Racing. I have the Holley oil pan, Holley timing cover. And then I need to get the flex plate off because I have a bell housing with all the stuff that's needed. Bell housing, flywheel, clutch, and then throw out bearing. So I have to basically throw out all that stuff on, measure it, get the throw out bearing set correctly, index the bell housing, make sure it's good, and then that will be all done as far as engine to transmission. One thing I am waiting on though is a tool to get the camshaft off. I'm not going to use the impact gun to get that bolt out because this says not to, and they sell a tool. So I ordered the tool from, I think it was like B Woody Performance. I'm just waiting for that to come in. So when that comes in, I'll go ahead and go through and start. I actually have to disassemble the valve train, and then I can get the cam out with the head still on, but I need to disassemble the valve train. This way I could push the lifters up into the lifter trays and then slide the cam out, slide the new one in. So we got a little time before that, but in the meantime, I'll just kind of start tinkering through and getting the engine kind of set up. All right, so I got the Holley intake manifold on and already torqued down. The stock throttle body for the 2024 or maybe 23 and up Godzilla, it doesn't fit on this. So I need to get the 2020 to 2022, which will also be supported in the hardware. But as you can see, the intake is much lower now. And then I'm gonna end up getting the Holley fuel rails because I need to get new injectors too. So this will be changed. I got the crank bolt out, and the way I did it was I just stuck a bolt through the flex plate for now. This bolt, oh my God, this thing is tight. So the new kit does come with a new one, but now I'm gonna try and get this harmonic balancer off, which hopefully my cheap old, it's not old, but my cheap puller will get it off. If not, find some other way, but it shouldn't be too hard. I did have this heater tube in the kit that came with it, so the coolant will come through this for the heater. The Holley kit has a different front cover, so this will all be changed. It has a different water pump too. And then, yeah, it's got a different water neck. It'll move the water neck to this side. Yeah, but all right, so I didn't realize, because I just didn't look, that this has no bolt holes in the front of it, so I can't use that. And then the other pullers I have, none of them work. So I went to O'Reilly's and I rented this. This is for a Chrysler, but the Godzilla swap forums say that this tool works. So I just rented it from O'Reilly's real quick. Hopefully I can just zip this off, and yeah, we'll see. All right, so I've got it set up. Should work. All right, so Chrysler, Mitsubishi, and Ford 7.3 liter Godzilla. I was gonna buy a tool like this because they sell them on Amazon, but I mean, I could just return it for free now, so. Shout out to the forums, man. I'll tell you, you can find literally anything on some of these Facebook groups and old forums and stuff like that. I'm just prepping the engine to while I wait on this tool to get it ready. Now let me kind of show you, for those who aren't familiar with the Godzilla, how you're supposed to set this up so it's in time. So this way, once you slam the new cam in there, you know, you could still be in time. So essentially, as I almost fell, there's a dot right here, and the timing marks, there's one dot on the chain here, and then there's 2 down here that you can kind of see. Yeah, there's 2. So the dot has to essentially face the way all of the kind of instruction videos and stuff I've seen basically face it towards this bolt hole right here. And then there is a mark on the crank gear, well, whatever, this sprocket right here. And this goes between these, man, I can't see. So essentially this mark, which I believe it'll be, yeah, it goes between these 2 lines right here. And so granted, when I put the new oil pump on, this gear, this sprocket right here is actually not going to be here. But before I disassemble all of it, I kind of slid it back a little bit. There is this same mark on this sprocket as well. So essentially this sprocket goes between these 2. So the engine is in time right now. So when I put the new cam in and get the phaser set back up, really the bottom end isn't going to move, and then I'll just make sure that the cam sprocket is set up just like this, and we'll be good to go. All right, guys, so I just got the front cover all kind of cleaned up for now. I'm not going to I'm not really going to dive into it any further because like I said, still waiting on a couple things. So that's where we're at. Got the engine here, slowly kind of getting it ready to put it in the car. I do need a set of clutch bolts. I thought the clutch kit was going to have a new set of bolts and dowel pins and stuff, so I got to get that. This way I can get the throwout bearing set up on the transmission. And actually, I set it up real quick. Let me show you that before we end it off. So I've got it covered up for now, but I got the hydraulic throwout bearing put on the TKX. And like I said, just waiting on the bolts for the clutch kit to actually bolt the clutch and flywheel onto the engine. And this way I can check to make sure that this throwout bearing has the correct clearance, right? I have to, I'm gonna have to shim it to get it correct on the, within the bell housing and all that stuff. So anyway, that's where we're at the car right now, slowly moving along. I'm pretty excited to get this engine in the car. My wife looked at it, she's like, there's no way that's gonna fit. This thing, the like video doesn't do it justice. I didn't realize how huge this engine is. So anyway, that's where we're at. As always, guys, I appreciate everyone watching. Take care. We'll see you on the next one.